Welcome to Season 3 of the IT Smart Guy podcast. A no-bullshit technology podcast with the modern business owner in mind. Full of tech insight and special guests. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the IT Smart Guy podcast, the show where I give small business owners practical, jargon-free advice to make their technology work harder for them. I'm your host, Tony Edwards from BitSmart Technology. Now, here's a quick question for you. How many screens are you using right now? If it's just one, you might be missing out on one of the easiest and most cost-effective productivity hacks available. Today, we're going to be talking about dual monitors, why they're such a game changer, and how they could save your business hundreds of hours every year. Let's start with the problem most of us are used to. You've got one monitor. You're on a Teams or a Zoom call, you've got a spreadsheet open, and maybe your inbox is open in the background, probably amongst a number of internet tabs as well. You want to check that client document while staying engaged on a call. Suddenly you're juggling windows, minimizing, maximizing, alt-tabbing back and forth. It's distracting, it's stressful, and worst of all, it's wasting time. Research shows that switching between windows can waste up to 2 hours a week per employee. Think about that across a team of 5. That's 10 hours of lost productivity every week. And it comes down to limited screen space. So what happens when you add a second screen? Suddenly you're not juggling as much anymore. You can have your video call open on one screen and your notes or CRM system on the other. You can run spreadsheets side by side. You can keep your email visible while you're working on a proposal. A University of Utah study has found that employees with dual monitors typically completed tasks between 20 and 30% faster when compared to those with a single screen. Another report from John Peddy Research suggested productivity boosts as high as 42% in certain industries. And here's the kicker. Most decent business monitors can cost you less than £200. That's often less than what 1 hour of lost productivity will cost a small business. And I've seen this firsthand with businesses I've worked with. A bookkeeper was reconciling client accounts with just one screen. So she'd have to have the bank statement open, the account software open, receipts and other things. So she'd be constantly flicking back and forth. When we set her up with dual monitors and she had both open side by side, she finished the same workload in half the time. There's also a solicitor who we've helped who regularly reviews contracts. On one monitor, they had the draft open. On the other, they could keep their research notes and case law handy. That setup didn't just save time. It helped to reduce errors because they weren't constantly losing their place. And for creative teams, dual monitors are invaluable. Designers keep their editing workspace open on one, with client feedback or reference material open on the other. It makes the whole process flow more natural. It's not just about speed either. There are a few other hidden benefits to dual monitors that business owners don't always think about. Focus. By dedicating screens to specific tasks, you reduce distraction. You're not constantly bombarded by notifications or background apps stealing attention. Collaboration. During client calls or internal meetings, you can share one screen while keeping your notes or sensitive information visible on the other. There's the ergonomic aspect. With the right setup, dual monitors can improve posture and reduce eye strain because you're not squinting at tiny windows or leaning in to switch between apps. But let's get practical. If you've not got 2 monitors right now and you're thinking about trying that out, here are a few tips to remember. You want to check your device support. Now, most modern PCs and laptops can handle dual monitors, but sometimes you may need a docking station or an adapter. You want to match your monitors. Try to get screens at the same size and resolution. Mismatched monitors can work, but a seamless setup feels smoother. Think about position. Ideally, you want to keep them at the same height and angle to avoid neck strain. Desk mounts can be a real space saver, especially if you're in a small area. And don't forget the cables: HDMI, DisplayPort, USB-C. Check what your machine supports before you go and buy them. And finally, think of workflow. Use one monitor as your main screen and dedicate the second to supporting tasks like email, chat, or reference material. Let's talk money. So, say you spend £150 on a second monitor for each employee. That can be a hefty investment if you've got 15 staff, but if that monitor saves each staff member 30 minutes of wasted time a week, you're looking at over 20 hours per year per employee saved. You multiply that across that team of 15 and the return on investment is huge. And unlike other tech investments, this one is pretty much instant. You'll see the difference almost the very first day you plug it in. But what if you don't want two separate monitors cluttering your desk? That's where ultra-wide monitors can come in. These are single screens that are the equivalent of having two, sometimes even three standard monitors side by side. The benefit? You get a huge continuous workspace without that bezel that runs down the middle. For tasks like video editing, large spreadsheets or design work, ultra-wides can be a dream. You can have your entire timeline stretched out across the width of the screen, or multiple windows tiled neatly next to each other. But there are some trade-offs with ultra-wide. They are much more expensive than two standard monitors, and they take up a lot of desk space. But if you want the productivity benefits of multiple screens with a cleaner setup, ultra-wides are worth considering. Now, I switched a couple of years back from dual 24-inch monitors to a 49-inch ultra-wide, and it cost a pretty penny. But the productivity gains have been worth it. But the best part was removing the 10-inch gap between the screens I had, and that was down to the shape and layout of my office. So, here's your action for this week. If you or your team are still working on single screens, try adding a second monitor. Even if you just test it for one person, I almost guarantee you'll see the difference. And if you're not sure what setup will work best, or whether your current equipment can handle dual monitors, that's where we come in at BitSmart Technology. We'll help you choose the right monitors, docking stations and cables so you can unlock that productivity boost without the hassle. That's it for this episode of the IT Smart Guy podcast. If you found this useful, please make sure you subscribe, you hit that bell icon for more tips and help for your business to get more from its technology. And if you'd like personalised advice on dual monitor setups or any other productivity enhancing tech, head over to bitsmart.tech. Until next time, work smarter, stay focused, and keep that tech smart.
Thanks for listening to the IT Smart Guy podcast. We hope you've enjoyed the episode, and we'd love for you to like and subscribe on your podcast platform of choice.